Ladies and gentlemen, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kick Talk Volume 5. And we're back again. Today we're going to talk about the unsung Jordan 8. One of my favorites, definitely in my top 5, but a lot of people don't give 8s enough love. So here we are to do that.
I keep it designated chrispaul. Leave the message with the man.
The Jordan 8, originally created in 1993, designed by the greatest Jordan designer ever, Tinker Hatfield. This Jordan was the first ever Jordan to have 2 straps, as well as a lot of abstract artwork going on this shoe. To me, this is probably the most artsy take that Jordan ever did on their Jordans. And the cool thing about this shoe is this was the last shoe that Jordan wore before he completed his first Three Peat. This was also the last shoe Jordan wore before he made his first announcement of retiring. Let's talk about the shoe a little bit. What we're looking at right here is the OG colorway that Jordan wore during the regular season. He ended up wearing the Aqua 8s, my personal favorite, during the All-Star game, and then he switched to an all-black pair that are known as the Playoff 8s during his playoff run to complete his three-peat. I just find the shoe to be so unique. When I think about designs, this Jordan sticks out to me. First of all, you have the carpet-like chenille fabric that I don't know what they were thinking when they put it on, but it is just one of my favorite details. It gives a texture that you really can't get on any shoe. And then you got to keep in mind, in the 90s, especially the early 90s, Nike was very strap happy. They had the Nike Air Raid, and they also had the Nike Force Max CB, which was Charles Barkley's shoe. A lot of shoes in the early 90s had straps. So I do think this just brings it back to the early 90s and really shows you what the era was looking like during that time. As a person who really loves paintings and artwork, this also speaks to me. This Jordan 8 has a very abstract, unique print that goes around the heel as well as on the bottom of the shoe. And it's just something that is almost je ne sais quoi. You can't explain it, but you really don't need to explain it. You just enjoy it and you enjoy what it brings. Another interesting thing about this colorway specifically is most people on the street nickname this the Bugs Bunnies. Now you have to keep in mind the Jordan 7 was the first ad campaign that Michael Jordan ditched Spike Lee and got Bugs Bunny as his sidekick in his commercials. They brought Bugs Bunny back for this second year for the Jordan 8, and what I think is so apt about calling these shoes the Bugs Bunnies is I remember when these 8s retroed, a lot of people were lacing them up like this to have the straps kind of sticking out. So they really did look like, Bugs Bunny's ears. So as mentioned, the Aqua 8s are a very unique shoe because they were only worn once by MJ. And this was during the 1993 All-Star game. Honestly, this is one of my favorite Jordans of all time. Easily top 5. The aqua colors are just so amazing. And the reason why they are these colors is it matched with his All-Star game jersey. And I really like the chenille print on this shoe because it really just has a different pop than you would on the OG Jordan 8. And once again, the abstract art is just all over the shoe. Even on the inside, I'm not sure you can see it, but this shoe is just a piece of art to me. And I've had this shoe at least 4 times in my life. The first time they ever retroed the shoe was in 2007. So you got to keep in mind, it took 14 years for the shoe to actually get out to the public. And when they dropped, I was all over it. The first time they did retro, they were a little low quality and the paint chipped very easily. So what we're looking at right now is a 2015 version, which is actually the last time they have retroed this Aqua 8. There is rumors actually that they're supposed to put out a Jordan Aqua 6 that's supposed to give, homage to these, but they're trash. Don't get those. You need to get these. Other NBA players have been known to sport the Jordan 8 as well. One of my favorite pop culture moments is when Kobe Bryant wore the Jordan 8 in his own custom Lakers colors. During this time, he was in what we called sneaker free agency. He wasn't signed to anybody, but all these different companies were trying to get him in their shoes, and Michael Jordan was a part of that group. One of my favorite dunks of all time is when Kobe does a behind the back and then he 180s the other way and he dunks on somebody on the Nuggets. I can't remember who it was. I'm going to find the clip, but he was wearing those 8s and I just thought it was the illest thing of all time. So in 2003, Kobe debuts these custom 8s. But then in 2008, there was like a PE, which stands for player exclusive. There was a PE explosion. And all of the Jordan athletes at that time basically got their own Jordan 8. Some of the memorable ones are Chris Paul, Ray Allen, Quentin Richardson, Darius Miles, and a few others to name. It's just so cool to see the different colors they had because all of these shoes that I'm mentioning were never released to the public. So you saw them dribbling and shooting and doing what they did in those 8s. And it made me realize that though the 8 wasn't maybe loved on the street, it's an awesome basketball shoe. It's a little heavier than some of the Jordans you might be accustomed to, but the ankle padding is out of this world, as well as the way they use the zoom technology and the air bubbles on the inside of the shoe. To me, probably the most comfortable Jordan that you could wear for an extended period of time. So it was just a clash of both worlds, seeing an awesome design, but reiterated in the 2000s when, Jordans were just at their peak. The first ever Jordan 8s I got were in 2003. I believe I was either in 8th grade or going into freshman year of high school. I got the black and chrome 8s. It wasn't an OG colorway, but it's a colorway that sneakerheads still love to this day. They ended up re-retroing the shoe in 2015, and I kind of missed out on that. I wish I had got them. The other pair that I missed out on was the playoff 8s. They dropped most recently in 2007, and it's a shoe that I'm hoping they retro in the next coming years. Looking into the future, looking at future release dates, I actually haven't seen any 8s that are coming out soon. So I am hoping if they do release an 8, that it will be the playoff 8. What are your thoughts on 8s? Some people do think they're ugly. I think they're beautiful. Do you have any stories about your first 8s or a pair of 8s that you didn't get? Please drop a story in the comments, like, tell your friends, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what you're already supposed to do. But until the next time, it is Kick Talk Volume 5, and I can't wait to talk to you about the next one.
Hello, who's this? This is E speaking. Very good. Have a good day. Click. Parked up. I keep it designated.